Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a very special celebration of learning here at the International School of IITA, because today our most senior class, our children in grade 7 and grade 8, are going to share with us some of the things that they have been learning during the past term and a half. So it's a great opportunity to hear from them. They're very confident young men and ladies, and I look forward to learning a great deal about what they have been studying and what they has been taking place during their lessons. So let me hand over to our older students. Let me see if they are ready. Okay, children, are you ready to share with us today?
Yes.
Okay, well, I will hand over to you so you can share everything you have learned. Take it away, middle school.
Welcome to our celebration of learning. Our topic is the language of mathematics. It is our everyday usage of languages, words, and vocabularies to interpret, interact, and solve calculating problems. Sit back, enjoy, and learn.
To start off with, what is mathematical language? Before we can define what mathematical language is, we must first consider what the function of language is. Language is the method of human communication, either written or spoken, consisting of the use of words in a structured way. Therefore, mathematical language which we students can communicate meaningfully in mathematics and ensure that it is presented in a structured way.
Whether written or spoken, to be able to present our thinking and reasoning with mathematical language. After all, if you are to be fluent in a language, you must be able to think and speak in it. It is important that we begin to reason mathematically by following a line of inquiry, determining relationships and generalizations, as well as developing an argument, justification, or proof. Through doing this, we can construct our own understanding and add to our existing schemas of knowledge. Mathematics is associated with numbers and symbols, and to be precise, with intriguing words. Every mathematical number or symbol has a corresponding word or phrase. This mathematics we are talking about has a language of its own. The deeper we study the subject, the more likely we come across words that are unique to this scientific discipline we call mathematics.
Most commonly used mathematical words owe their origin to Old English. When the Romans conquered Britain, the local population spoke Celtic. The Romans brought Latin with them, and soon other invaders brought their languages. Thus developed the Anglo-Saxon language, otherwise known as Old English. Number words such as 1, 2, 3, 4, and measurement terms such as foot, yard, etc. originate from Old English.
French words were also introduced after the Norman conquest of England in 1066. Some French origin words include surface and surjection. Most mathematical terms are of Latin origin too. Arithmetic is derived from the Latin word arithmetica. Interestingly, until the Middle Ages, most math words had an extra R. Example, arithmetica.
A large body of mathematical work was produced between 300 BC and 300 AD by Greek mathematicians Euclid and Archimedes, among others. They gave us the Greek math words such as isosceles and convex. Math word formation is left to individual initiative. Therefore, the process of word formation is unpredictable. Moreover, some specialized words associated with important concepts were not coined for years. For example, mathematicians used the word radius for centuries before diameter came to be. Addition and fraction were coined as early as 1100 AD, while determinants came to existence as late as 1810.
The word algebra was coined by Persian scholar and astronomer Al-Khwarizmi in 825 AD. The origin Arabic word is al-jabr, which means the reunion of broken parts, where a subtracted quantity on one side of an equation becomes an added quantity when moved to the other side.
The mathematical language, words, vocabulary, and phrases commonly used for basic operations are, respectively, addition, plus, sum, increase, total, altogether, and so on. Subtraction, subtract, minus, less, decrease, take away, deduct, and so on.
Multiplication, multiply, product, by, times, loss of. Division, divide, quotient, goes into how many times.
Others are equation, expression, rates, substitute, chords, tangents, diameter, quadrilateral, and more on.
How does mathematical language differ from normal written or spoken words? If you are to view language as the communication of meaning, mathematical language differs significantly because it extends to include the use of graphs, charts, mathematical symbols, numbers, and diagrams. This variation in the representation of language can make it more difficult for we students to construct meaning. It is evident that mathematics as a language has a rather unique phraseology and vocabulary. Our goal is to understand the disciplinary literacy of language, of mathematics, so that we can become truly mathematically literate. Why is mathematical language important? As we know, language is not learned incidentally, nor with limited or infrequent exposure. We learn its vocabulary in a way that will give us a deeper understanding and the mathematical proficiency we need. We cannot pursue mastery of a mathematical topic without understanding the vocabulary associated with it. These vocabularies enable us students to engage with important concepts and build a deeper understanding with them. By ignoring explicit vocabulary instructions and the understanding effort, we are preventing ourselves from achieving the depth of knowledge we want to achieve. How can we reason out problems or justify our arguments if we cannot think in the language that we can communicate in?
Number one, you have to understand what the question is asking you to do if you want to get it right. Every math question gives direction or asks questions of some sort. And a student, no matter how good they are at computation, risks getting the problem wrong if they don't understand what the question is asking them to do. You have to understand what the question is asking you to do if you want to get it right.
Words such as difference, true, or product can have different definitions or connotations when can have different definitions or connotations in our everyday language. It is essential that we know the appropriate meaning of a word when looking at an output.
3. A consideration for ESL students. ESL means English as Second Language. Some of our students at start do not speak English as their first language. At that point, they were all very fluent, but because English language was not their first language, there are a lot of math terms they wouldn't know compared to their peers in class. Most of the English-speaking students came in already knowing the vocabulary associated with it. So it's important that ESL learners are taught all these important mathematical words so that they are not left behind.
Number 4, to allow for meaningful math discussions. Another goal in learning math vocabulary is to get us talking in terms of creative discussion and sharing of ideas. It is important that we are able to bounce ideas off each other and discuss how to solve a problem or what we are thinking as we try to work it out. Knowing and understanding most of these math words can help us students explain what we are thinking. In summary, what we have been saying is mathematics has its own language, which needs to be learned and understood.
Also, mathematical language and another language differ in a sort of way and has to be learned. Learning its vocabularies or words has its advantage, which include understanding what the question is asking us to do, which will help us to get to it. Another one is helping ESL students to interpret and use appropriate methods in solving math problems, which will allow for meaningful discussions.
A quiz for every class. Grade 3. The basic math operations we talked about earlier are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Which basic math operation means all together? Anyone in grade 3?
Can you please repeat back your question?
This question is for grade 3. Which basic math operation or symbol means all together?
You can also break it.
The symbol means addition.
Yes, that's very correct. Thank you very much. Grade 2. Which basic math operation or symbol means take away?
Addition.
Mm-mm.
Subtraction.
Yes, yes, thank you very much.
Grade 5. What mathematics operation is referred to as find the product of?
Multiplication.
Correct. Grade 6. Tell me one advantage of learning the mathematical vocabulary.
To be able to communicate.
Correct.
Grade 1. What mathematical operation means sum?
And the other place Can you repeat the question, please?
What mathematical operation means sum?
means Sandayas.
Addition.
Correct. Grade 4. Most commonly used words in mathematics or their origin or true or false. Most commonly used words in mathematics or their origin to Old English, true or false.
Can you repeat your question, please?
Most commonly used words in mathematics or their origin to Old English, true or false. Sorry?
True.
Yeah, that's correct. Thank you for watching and listening to our presentation. I hope you have learned one or two things. Now it is time for you to ask us your questions.
Click the raise up your hand icon and we will choose you to ask your questions.
Okay, any classes with questions can raise up their hands. So use the icon on the Zoom. Your teacher can click the icon on the Zoom and then we'll know who has questions to ask. Okay, Peter, you can see the icons.
Grade 1. What is your question, grade 1? Oh, please unmute your mic.
Timetable.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Ask your question properly.
Timetable.
That's not a question.
What question do you have?
What part do you like?
All right, Sasha, maybe
Grade 2.
Addition.
Those are all.
What was your favorite part of the celebration of learning?
Please, can you repeat that question?
What was your favorite part of the celebration of learning?
My favorite part of this celebration of learning was putting together the questions to ask our audience and answer all of them correctly.
Okay.
Grade 3. Grade 2.
Did you like your celebration of learning?
Yes, we like the celebration of learning. Grade 2, please, can you ask your question?
Where did you get the information?
Our celebration of learning, we have treated some of the topics in previous classes. So we got some information from our previous classes and we also researched online to find our information.
Do you like mathematics?
Yes. Thank you.
Grade 3, please can you ask your question?
Is mathematics good or bad?
Mathematics is good. We use it in our everyday life, so it's very good.
Question is, what is the sign for algebra?
What is sign for?
Algebra.
What's the type of algebra?
Algebra doesn't exactly have a particular sign of its own. Algebra is like a math topic. It's an equation, different equations, basically. Just like Peter explained before. So it doesn't have a symbol of its own.
Do you have any other questions?
What math symbol do you often use?
We often use all of them. In any mathematical question or topic you find yourself, you always end up using all these symbols. Even in algebra, we still use these symbols. So we use all of them every time.
What are the challenges you faced in mathematics?
Well, it depends actually. The challenges I personally face are, well, if I have a hard equation to solve, and Mr. Macaulay has explained it to us, and I'm still not getting it, those are examples of challenge, for example. So if there's a hard math question and I can't solve it, I go to my books, I find answers. So basically, challenges are just having to solve hard equations and hard math questions. And also trying to study math or to make up questions. Anytime you're trying to make up questions, there's this temptation to make up a simple question. So you have to discipline yourself to make hard questions so you get it better.
Aramide, what about you?
Please, can you repeat the question?
What are the challenges you faced in math, Aramide?
The challenges I face are when I don't understand what Mr. Macaulay is saying, and he keeps on repeating it again and again, and I still don't get it. But at the end of the day, I try it again and again, and I get it. Thank you for the question.
The camera is gone. How do we use math in our daily activities?
You use math in your daily activities. For example, if you want to buy something, you need to understand, like if you want to buy something of 100 naira and something of 200 naira, when you want to add everything together and collect your change, you need to add the amount together, and then you'll be able to know your change. And when it is time to wake up, you check. And when it's time to wake up and you want to know the amount of time left, you calculate the when you slept and when you wake up. Grade 5, please ask your question.
I think pre-K have some questions, but I think they're still muted. Pre-K, do you have some questions?
Yes, we do. Minoma, what's your question?
My question is, what of the celebration?
Can you come with your question again, please?
What is your favorite part of the celebration of learning?
What's your favorite part of this celebration of learning?
When we came together to see what we could do for our celebration of learning, and we chose to talk about mathematical topics.
Okay, thank you, Inoma. Thank you. The middle of the question.
What is your favorite part of your celebration?
Okay, the same question.
Our favorite part was when we looked for questions for you to answer.
All right, thank you. Annabelle.
Do you like doing? Did you like your presentation?
Yes, do you like it?
Do you like your presentation? Big voice, please.
Do you like your presentation?
Yes, we liked our presentation.
Okay, thank you. Tito, be your question.
Do you like your presentation?
Okay, the same question from Tito. Do you like your presentation?
Yeah.
All right. So yes, thank you.
Any other question? From any other class? Grade 4, please ask your question.
My question is that if you are asked to improve on your celebration of learning, what do you think you can do better?
I think we can try to speak louder.
Okay, good point. What learner profile did you think you achieved in your celebration of learning?
We use all of them.
Like, may you mention them?
Thinker, knowledgeable, open-minded, and communicators.
Thank you. Were you interested in learning about it?
Yes, it was very interesting learning more about mathematics and language of mathematics.
Thank you.
Well done, grade 4. I wonder if any parents have questions. What do you think? Middle school, do you think the parents have questions for you? Shall we invite some parents?
Yes.
There are some here.
That's all.
Parents, would you like to ask any questions? Or make any comments? Okay, maybe while we wait for parents, there's a question from grade 6, I think.
What topic is the hardest for you in math?
It depends. Sometimes algebra might be hard, or sometimes division might be hard for some people. So it depends.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions?
Okay, maybe we'll hand over to Mrs. Ekorn to see if she can give us a few words as our PYP coordinator. Let's see if I can find Mrs. Ekorn, if she'll be able to give us a few words. And share a little.
Hello, everybody. I will start by saying thank you, middle school, for educating us on why it is essential to use mathematical language. I will encourage students to continue to develop and improve their skills. So thank you very much, middle school.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mrs. Ekorn. Thank you. We have some comments from parents. They're saying, excellent, well done. Let me see if I can read. And if any of the parents would like to open their mic and make a comment, they're free at this point. A few parents, maybe they're all busily working in their offices, but I know they're listening because I can see a number of parents with us today. Okay, maybe our parents are not able to speak, which is unfortunate, but they're with us, which has been great. Okay, grades 7 and 8. That is great work on mathematics and very, very appropriate because this week, as we all know, during our ISA, children from grade 3 to grade 8 are doing their mathematical literacy. So I'm sure what you have shared today will help them all to be a little bit more mathematical literate and make sure that they know that they read the questions, they fully understand their questions before they use their mathematics. So I think tomorrow, grade 4 and grade 5, you have your mathematical literacy. Now you've heard from our grade 7 and grade 8 how important it is to know your maths words and to understand what is being asked of you. So I think that's been very appropriate. So thank you everyone for joining us for our celebration of learning today. It's been great to hear from our grade 7s, see our grade 7s as such great communicators sharing their knowledge. I think everybody can open their mic now to say thank you to grade 7 before we go and congratulate them. So let's all open our mic and say thank you, grade 7. Okay, great. Thank you, grade 7. Bye for now. Bye.